Several days ago, several students were involved in this car accident. The accident occurred on Chamblee Road, just across the railroad tracks. The vehicle lost control, flipped over, and landed on a power pole guide wire. 2 of the occupants were able to escape relatively safely. 1 was trapped for about an additional 45 minutes. Just as a story of their survival, I believe it's a true testimony of their good fortune. I think that it's an absolute fantastic learning experience for the entire student body in our community as well. We were so very close to losing 3 of our students. What do you remember? What was the first thing that you remember about that particular afternoon? How did you come to find out about it?
Well, I mean, we just gotten the buses left, had gone, and I was in my office, and usually when I get a call from you, it's never a good thing, but it's never a situation like this. And I just remember thinking, you said, hey, I need to get down here, and it's pretty bad. And the expectations at that point were, really didn't know, other than there was a car wreck, and it involved our kids.
Christina and I have gone out and gotten something to eat before soccer games many times before, but this time was different. I happened to be talking with my boyfriend Grant in the senior parking lot when Christina pulled up. She told me to get in so we could get back in time for the game. I invited Grant to go with us because he was going to come to our game anyway. So he agreed and he got in the back seat of the car. I walked around to the passenger side and she had her book bag and gym bag in the front seat. I was too lazy to move her bags, so I just got in the back seat with Grant. Grant and I paid no attention to the drive or our seat belts. We were in the middle of a normal conversation and then we noticed how fast she was going. But by the time we saw the speedometer, it was way too late.
We left the school and we were going down Chamblee Road, and I don't remember how fast I was going. The last time I looked down, I was going about 40, 45. They said I was going 60. But once I went over the train tracks, I lost control of the car once it landed, and I tried to correct it, like go into my lane, and I lost control of the car, and the last thing I remember was seeing the ditch and the phone pole, and I remember thinking that ditch is going to stop us, but that's when I blacked out. And after that, I don't remember anything. I remember waking up and Kylie wasn't in the car, Grant was in the car, and I remember freaking out because she wasn't in there. And I asked him where she was, and he told me she was fine, if I was okay, and I said yes, and my bags were on me, and Grant took them off of me, and I don't remember anything after that. And then I woke up again, and he was still in the car, and I remember like holding his hand and being like, Grant, I'm scared, and I started crying.
By the time I was even going to say slow down, we were already going to hit it. She hit the tracks. I mean, it all happened so fast, but yet at the same time, it was so slow. She hit the tracks kind of at an angle, so that when we landed, we didn't land straight. We kind of landed at sort of an angle, so it shot her into the other lane, and that's when she overcorrected to the right. Once I was in the back left behind her, and once I felt that tire slide out, I was like, all right, we're definitely going in the ditch. I saw the ditch coming up, and I didn't think it would have been that bad. I just thought, we're going to hit the ditch, it's going to stop us, just like she said. I was like, the ditch is going to stop us. Once I felt my back left tire hit the ditch, it was just chaotic from there. Basically, the entire car turned or spun around me, and I basically stayed in the same spot and ended up sitting on the roof. I didn't really think it was that bad until once Kylie got out. Once I asked her if she was alright, and I realized she was fine. And I looked in front of me, from what I saw, I was basically positive that Christina was dead. I wasn't even going to ask, it wasn't even a question of where's Christina, is she alright? I was just not even going to say anything about it.
What were your first thoughts when you realized what had happened?
I didn't even know what exactly had happened. I remember just sitting in the car and looking back, and Kylie wasn't there, and I just freaked out because she wasn't in the car. And Grant told me she was okay, and after that, all I was really worried about was Grant being okay, Kylie being okay, and just get me out as soon as you can. As long as they're fine, I was okay.
How do you feel now?
I feel good. I mean, we're all three alive. You know, it was a bad accident. We're all okay. But I mean, it still kind of sucks thinking about it because, like, there's so many things that could have happened, and they didn't.
Sure. What advice would you give your fellow classmates now?
Enjoy life. Like, don't take anything for granted because you don't know when God's going to take it from you. He gave us all three a second chance.
How is this going to affect your everyday relationships?
I'm definitely grateful that all three of us are alive. I don't know what I would do without either of them. They're my best friends, and it just makes me value every relationship that I have with everybody that I know, because you just need to not take anything for granted and always tell the people that you love them, because you never know when they're going to be taken away from you.
How is this going to affect the way you drive?
But now when I drive, all I do is just see potential accident scenarios in my head when I'm driving. And that's probably going to follow me the rest of my life.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So, what goes through your mind when you hear one of our kids is potentially seriously hurt? What are the first things that you think about?
Well, first of all, I think about the families of those kids, and I start wondering, how I'm going to inform those parents, and the extent of the injuries, of course, and wondering, how badly they're hurt, and just, for lack of a better word, panic. Because it's the families obviously are going to be affected because it's their kids, but they're our kids, they're our family. This is West Hall, and yes, I'm the principal, but and I guess I see that as being a dad of 1,000, 1,100 kids, and no one ever wants to get that kind of call. I don't care what relationship they have, and it's just in my almost 19 years now of education, never ever you want to get that. To slow down, to be safe, and be smart. And if you do those three things, then hopefully we won't ever have to have the worst case scenario.
Spartan Nation, every 15 minutes, one person in the United States is killed or seriously injured in a car accident. It's our goal and our mission to make every Spartan arrive alive. It's up to you, Spartan Nation.